Anyways, welcome back to Wittenberg Radio TV. It is December the 4th. It's almost the last day of classes, which is kind of crazy to think about. Yeah, I think everybody's excited about that, especially, I think the profs are excited about that. I don't know how the admissions people are feeling about that. Maybe we'll get an insight later on. But yeah, welcome back. Thank you again for tuning in, potentially tuning in. Hopefully we'll keep this a weekly show. We'll have one more episode at least before the Christmas break, but we'll try to
I kind of want to have a Christmas special. I don't know about
Christmas
you.
Special? That would land on the 18th. So people, if you want a Christmas Wittenberg, if you want a Chloe and Dan Christmas special, put it in your calendars and let us know.
I say yes.
Carley says yes.
It sounds pretty entertaining. Anyways, one of the big things this year, we've kind of over the past couple episodes talked about some of the big impacts that COVID-19 has kind of had on CMU as a learning community, and gotten a variety of different responses through that. And so today, obviously both Chloe and I are athletes at CMU, very proud Blazers. And obviously, CMU athletics has been significantly impacted, as well as all events and sports and rec events have been impacted by Code Red and well, even just COVID at the start of the year. So we decided to bring in two of our favorite humans that are very well ingrained within the CMU Blazers society, which is Mackenzie Hildebrand and Carley Matkowski. Is that how you say your last name?
Close.
Okay.
50%. No, Matkowski.
Matkowski. Okay.
We got it.
You got it now. You got it.
Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Would you guys do us a favor and do a little bit of a little intro for yourselves?
Mackenzie,
Carley, you go first. Oh.
This is just like Chloe and I. Great. Yeah.
You can go. You got it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, my name is Mackenzie Hildebrand. As Daniel mentioned, I was formerly a student of CMU. Now I work there in the admissions department, as well as coach the women's volleyball team. I'm one of the assistant coaches there, so got to work with Chloe on that. But yeah, during my time at CMU, I was lucky enough to not only play volleyball, which was sort of my main sport, but I also tried my hand at a bit of futsal, and then also became a soccer goalie for my final year.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
A soccer champion, is that correct?
Whoa!
I wasn't going to say it, but
clean sheet in the finals.
It's
clean sheet in the finals. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. I'm Carley Matkowski. This is my 4th year at CMU. It's kind of crazy. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. 4th year. My first 3 years I played basketball, and then my 3rd year I played basketball and soccer, and then this year was very kind of up and down, so I just ended up playing soccer, but all the seasons got canceled. But I'm doing my Bachelor of Arts and going into education, so I'm going to be doing that. And I've been involved this semester a lot with CMU like fitness, so I run fitness classes on Tuesdays that are live, and yeah, that's super fun, and just trying to keep up the fitness around the campus because I know it's very helpful for people, especially during this time. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess kind of hopping in off of that, why do you think it is important to stay active during this pandemic?
It's very good well, I read a lot of books, so I could go on like rants for hours, but it's very good for your physical health and your mental health, especially. Even it's very easy in this time to kind of step back and say like, well, we're in a pandemic, so I don't need to do this, or we're in a pandemic, so you know what, I'm not going to work out, or stuff like that. And yes, of course, some days you need to take a rest day. You need to give yourself some leeway because everyone's human, right? But it's even more important to go for a walk for 20 minutes a day, do stretching, be mindful, disconnect from all the chaos of the world, and just focus on yourself and focus on bettering yourself. Maybe get your heart rate up a bit, get sweating, just go outside for a walk, get in nature and stuff like that. It's super important. It can really, really, really benefit and just give you positive times in these crazy kind of shit times. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the things it's just one of the things that I know that just in a general exam season, that sport kind of allows for this chance to de-stress, and you don't have to think about it for an hour and a half, and you can just practice and have a good time.
Yeah, something that I've noticed and I've really appreciated that surprised me was the benefits of being on a team right now, even though we're not in a season or on the court or the field necessarily. Have you guys experienced that? Like Carley as an athlete and Mack as a coach?
You want to go? I can go.
Yeah, definitely. It's been different for me as I'm not going through schoolwork and doing those types of things, but even being able, I work closely with 4 other people, and that sort of teamwork and that team mentality that I'm able to have in that line of work that I'm doing is super helpful, because you can just talk to one another about, oh, this is what is really going well, this is what I'm struggling with, and have that communication flow. I know for the women's volleyball team, we've definitely kept up the group chat a bit, and everyone's so good at just letting people know that when they're doing really good, but also kind of letting them know when maybe they're not so good, and maybe need an extra call from a friend, or just need to have some support sent their way. So I think getting through this and getting through tough times, being on a team, being in a team atmosphere is so helpful, because as to steal from the East High Wildcats, we are all in this together.
Oh, that song is going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the day.
That's the theme song for this Friday.
It is. And sometimes I just want to talk about our team group chat, Mack, because it is so hilarious and wonderful. I don't want to say bullied, but we persuaded Mack to send us a Christmas carol, and it was the best. It's so fun.
Yeah, that was definitely a good time. I wasn't going to at first, but then I was just like, people will probably get a rise out of it. They'll enjoy it. So, it's just fun. It's so fun to smile every single time it starts blowing up. It's just like, wow, this is awesome. Yeah.
How about for you, Carley? Has being on a team still continued to be a good thing, even though there's no actual practices going on?
Oh yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I'm lucky that I'm kind of a part of both, so basketball and soccer, and a bit of the other ones too, just because before this I was training them at F45, so that was super fun. I really loved that. It was awesome. But yeah, we still have our group chat, and tonight we have a soccer Zoom meeting at 5 and stuff like that. And I do encourage them to keep up with like their fitness on any live ones I have, and they give feedback and stuff like that. And yeah, same thing. We get to talk almost every day. It's so easy with your group chat because someone says something and then it's like so it is nice to just still be a part of that, and just because like even though we're not spending time together, we're still having that connection. So so grateful. Absolutely. Very, very grateful for that.
Yeah. And I think one of the unique perspectives that you guys both offer is that you both, were multi-sport athletes, right? I guess, how does that come about? What was the draw for you guys to play both sports?
Go ahead.
Yeah, totally. For myself, I definitely came to CMU for volleyball. That's been my main sport growing up and doing this. I never really even played a ton of soccer, just kind of Timbit soccer and kind of up till I was, maybe 8, 9, 10 ish range. But I've always been playing multi-sports, even though I have specialized in volleyball. I always tried to be a part of other teams, whether it was, our baseball team in high school or basketball team in high school, doing those types of things. And then at university, I saw an opportunity to, be crazy enough to be a futsal goalkeeper. I was like, not many people want to do this. And this is seems like a fun time to just get in the gym, and the extra bit of time I had some spare time to give to another team. And so that's kind of how I started playing futsal. And then, sort of fortunate circumstances or unfortunate circumstances, however you want to look at it, for our soccer program, there wasn't really a goalie at the time. And I was like, I'm a big body, I'm a big frame, I can move fairly well. I'm good with my hands for volleyball, not so great with my feet, but as a goalie, you don't have to be. So it's a natural fit there just to come in and learn and work with such a great back line with Daniel McIntyre in there as well as Robbie Friesen. So a bit of luck, a bit of circumstance, but also just, you know, being able to learn from being a multi-sport athlete my whole life.
Yeah, that was
Carley,
kind of
sorry, go on.
exact same with me too. So like growing up in high school, I was from Gimli, so very small high school. So if you did one sport, you pretty much did them all. And that's something that I really like am grateful about, is being able to be a multi-sport athlete, because even coming to CMU, like for basketball, I think I did club like 1 year, but throughout high school, I was like a competitive dancer and did boxing and just like things throughout that. So even coming to CMU and starting the basketball program, like I learned so much, and it was really nice to like come and having to really put effort and like really, you know, because university sports are much different than a small Gimli sports degree. So it was super fun to do that. And then kind of my third year, I got really close with the soccer team, and then yeah, they were like, if you want to join, and I was like, I can run and I'll try my hardest and learn, so you know, I'll be there. So that's what I did. And then even, yeah, this year they were like, yeah, we don't really have a goalie, so like you're going to go in goalie. And I was like, all right, kids, here we go. So I started to kind of train in goalie, but then we had someone that came that was like an actual goalie, and I was like, perfect, all right. But obviously kind of things had to end. But yeah, it was super fun, because then you got to have two teams. Like we're so privileged to be able to come to a university and be on a team, because so many of my other friends, they'll go to class, go home. They don't really know anyone, but they're also in bigger universities. But us being on teams, being involved, smaller university, like I've literally built another half of my life, like knowing people, getting to know people, like all that. So super grateful, super awesome. I'm very grateful for that.
I think I'm thinking back to, I joined Mack actually on a little admissions webinar. And I think I had mentioned that like it's super easy to make friends at CMU, but it's even easier when you're an athlete.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just like this instant circle of friends, and it's just, oh, it's the most wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess to change up the topic here a little bit, we've talked about all the great things that sports has to offer at CMU, but what's something that you've specifically missed this year?
Like me, or
Yeah. Anybody. Let's start with you, Carley. Yeah.
Like as in because of COVID?
Yeah.
Oh, I miss going on trips. Those were so fun. Basketball, we're super lucky because we were always going to the States and stuff like that. But trips were always so fun because you got to spend the whole weekend together, even if you were playing 1 or 2 games, which is like, 4 hours. But all the other time, it was free time to spend together. And it was literally like we were in high school, kids again, just chilling with a bunch of friends, like just doing shenanigans. Like, oh gosh.
The bus rides are always fun. Yeah.
So fun. I really miss that. And just being with everyone.
Yeah, Mackenzie, is that one of the things that you've missed since transitioning out of a student athlete role?
Yeah, totally. I've 100% missed just being around a team more than what I am. Like, obviously, I get to go to practices. I've gotten to go to games as a coach, but you do miss the, just hanging out before a practice, like 15 minutes, just sitting in the gym. You're not always a part of those conversations, a part of that group, or even just like the study groups getting together. And yeah, I definitely do miss that. I definitely miss, hanging out with the friends. Obviously the travel aspect is something we do miss. And obviously this last little bit missing being in the gym, but with volleyball, we were fortunate enough to go pretty long through the first semester. So I mean, this is kind of turning the question back on you here, Daniel. Obviously, with soccer, you've got to play one exhibition game, and that's really it. Normally, the season ends sort of right when the snow hits at the beginning of November. So how have you felt and been impacted by this? Because you really got no of us, like no season at all. Whereas we've been able to practice for into November, but obviously not now, but into November. So how has that impacted you and just your studies and feeling?
I guess for me, I mean, we managed to get 2 games in, and thankfully one was against Prov, which is always the best game of the season because it always it's heated and it's a good game. Even though there were no fans around, I still felt like I was getting booed. But I think obviously the travel aspect was going to be tough, but we still ended up practicing through a lot of it, which was really, really good. I think the traveling was probably what I also missed. I'll echo Carley's statement. But one of the strange things for me, usually at this time of year, we'd be starting practicing futsal. And we actually did have one practice before everything went into code red. And that was strange because we had to wear masks through it. And I know people have been wearing masks at different sports, but futsal and soccer requires a little bit more running than volleyball. And so the fact that
we jump.
Great. I'm just saying that after about a half an hour of, running around a court really hard, the masks were like actually quite difficult to be in, and everybody, was holding it out and really breathing really hard. So I think that was an interesting thing that I found. I don't know, Carley, if you had any practices where you had to wear masks, but I mean, we were lucky enough with soccer that we could be outside, and so there weren't that many restrictions on things.
Yeah, it was crappy.
Yeah.
But it was better than nothing at that time, so whatever.
Absolutely.
Just kind of deal with it.
Yeah. So one of the other things, I guess, kind of going off of that, is that I also know that masks have been worn by pro athletes in conditioning training for a while now. And when this whole thing of, masks restrict your breathing came out and kind of a backlash against masks in general, this is one of the things that I thought about. And so as a trainer, like, do you know anything about like what masks kind of restrict when you're actually doing training?
Just oxygen consumption, like it's harder to get oxygen in. But like you said, like when I used to train at this other gym, we used to hold water in our mouth and you'd only have to breathe through your nose. So, and I would tell all the clients, like when we were working out with masks, like, this is just making you stronger. When you're doing it without a mask, it's just going to be that much easier. So it's not, I mean, doctors wear masks when they're in surgery, dentists wear masks. If you're in military, sometimes you're covered up, right? So yeah, it sucks, but we're just used to not wearing masks. So you just got to adapt. And it is harder, obviously, but I don't know, breathe more, bigger breaths.
Expand the lungs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carley, now the cool thing is you're doing these training sessions with CMU that are live streamed. So people can train along with you without wearing a mask because they're doing it from home. How has that experience been? Have people been tuning in and working out with you? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been really fun. And I'll have people like randomly be like, thanks for the workouts. And even if it's like one person doing it, I'm still happy to benefit that. But yeah, people have been really liking them. And I'm kind of used to it because last lockdown, the gym that I work at, F45, we did lives. So I kind of got used to kind of like talking to the camera like it was people. So I really honestly enjoyed, and it's fun. It kind of just puts me in a spot where it's like I'm feeling like I'm with the people. So it is fun to do. I really enjoy doing that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I recommend to anyone watching who wants to work out but maybe has trouble knowing what to do, you got to tune into Carley's streams.
Tune in, baby.
Yeah, I also want to note there, if you're struggling to find motivation, hop on a Zoom call with like 3 or 4 friends and just have them there with you and all set like, hey, we're going to work out for half an hour at this time. and hop on and do that together. Maybe you're doing different exercises. Maybe you're not even really paying attention to the screen that the other people are working out too. But it's just knowing that in the back of your mind that someone else is also pushing themselves and bettering themselves. It's kind of helps a little bit mentally. I know this is something that the women's volleyball team just started, and so Chloe can attest to this as we're now going to do this weekly, just to stay motivated and stay driven. How'd you find that working out with friends there, Chloe?
Yeah, I was like, is this gonna work? Like, am I gonna feel motivated? Like, but then getting on the screen and seeing all of my teammates' faces at the beginning and kind of chatting and being like, oh, this kind of feels like a practice. And then doing the workout with my camera on and realizing I'm like, if I stand still for too long, I'm going to feel bad about it. So there's still like that motivation since everyone else is doing it. You got to go hard too. So I loved it. It was fun. I'm looking forward to doing it again.
So Mac, I know that you've been working in admissions for the past couple of years, or the past little while at least. You've recently kind of taken on more of a role, kind of doing, maybe not scouting, but you're helping new CMU students come in that are specifically involved with Blazers athletics. When are you making your transition to an agent, sports agent?
Oh, great question. Definitely that'll be a few years down the road after I'm done here at CMU. But yeah, I don't, maybe not agent is the right way of putting it, but definitely helping people as sports psych, maybe, type of like, oh, this is what you should do. This is hearing you out and helping them that way. Who knows? But yeah, recently I've kind of made the transition. Last year I was doing this too, with more so informally working with most of the athletes, just based on my experience with being a multi-sport athlete at CMU. This year it's a little bit more formalized, and yeah, it's super great to be able to work with coaches from all of our sports, just being able to talk to and relay information, saying this coach has been talking to this person, and the coach lets me know, hey, they want to learn more about our Bachelor of Science program. Oh, well, our coach maybe doesn't know that information, but I do. So I'm able to, work together, as a team, you could say, with our coaching staff, to make sure that the incoming athletes and incoming students that we have are well educated into, what type of programs that CMU runs, as everyone who is on an athletic team is a student athlete, and that holds 50-50. You have to be just as much of a student as you are an athlete, and so being able to work out the academic side, as well as bringing some of the storytelling, my past experience as an athlete, has been super helpful, I think, just to either convince a student that you should come to CMU, and get them to come, or to find the specific program that they're interested in.
Also, Mack gives one heck of a pep talk. So like that, like sports psych, like coach kind of future for him. I see it.
Yeah, definitely. I was lucky enough to help out with sports camps this year, giving some of the team talks. And one of my coworkers who helped me alongside of it, after almost every single time, she would come up to me and like, I am motivated right now. And so that felt pretty good. And sometimes you just gotta speak from the heart and speak passionately about something and get the people going.
So looking ahead then, what are some rookies that you could give some? Who do you think is going to shine in 2021, Mackenzie?
Oh my goodness! Wow, that's a tougher one. Just because I know more so what students are going to do academically, more so than their athletic ability. Definitely, I want to try to stay up to snuff with where they attend school, how they've done on those sports teams and what club teams they've played. Obviously, this year it's so different. We're not able to see some of the either footage from past games or go watch athletes live. I think recruitment for athletics is a lot of word of mouth. It's kind of where have you played in the past? What are your strengths, and some of those things, which is a little bit more tricky. Definitely our women's soccer team, our coaches there have been putting in work. If anyone out there follows the CMU Blazers Instagram, they've seen there's been a number of signings of quite a few talented young soccer players there. So our women's soccer team is definitely getting a good rookie class. I know I've worked a lot with Don Dolder, our men's volleyball coach too, and he's been working hard. It seems like there's going to be a solid group of rookies there too coming in, just because those kind of are the teams that have needed the most players, needed the most sort of help, and so recruitment's been going pretty good for them. So I would definitely look out for the women's soccer team next year. They'll be young, but they'll be feisty and definitely looking to push.
Carley, are there any names from the are there any names from the women's soccer team that you'd like to put forward as going to take the world by the MCAC by storm next year?
Actually, this year we had a big group of girls, and some of them were like still in high school. So next year it will be. I can't say like one person, because honestly, all of them, like there was a big group of them, and it was like, yes, like we had really good momentum at the beginning of the year. We were learning a lot and working really good as a team. So yeah, next year is gonna be super fun. Ooh.
Nice. I guess then in an ideal world, what does sports in general at CMU look like next year for you, Carley?
Who knows? Honestly, who knows? I mean, I guess maybe it'll be full on. Maybe it won't be at all. Maybe it will be half. But I think we can all just push through as teams. I mean, we have each other now. So whatever's going into the future, we're going to have each other. We can still do online sessions and stuff like that. So just hoping for the best. But I mean, can't really hope on anything or wait around for anything, because you just kind of got to go with the flow, and that's that.
Yeah, Mackenzie, what do you think 2021 is going to look like for the Blazers?
Yeah, I definitely hope, in an ideal world, we're sending 4 teams to nationals, as next year is the first time that we're competing in the CCAA, and we'll be able to have a berth at a national championship. Our sports teams have proven over the last number of years that we're very competitive in the MCAC, but also competitive across Canada with our men's volleyball team, at least when I was there, having success when we went to Ontario playing teams there. I know our women's basketball team has had success when they've gone out to BC. Women's volleyball has had some success in Ontario. Soccer, we've competed with the top teams. We had a draw in soccer with the number 4th ranked team in the country when we played SAIT a few years back. So our sports teams are competitive on the national college level. And so ideally it would be great if we could show that, at a nationals. So that is an ideal world, what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, Dan, what do you want?
Good question. I just want to play again.
Yeah.
I think that's what every athlete truly has at the front of their mind is really wanting to play again, because for all the talking we can do about how good it is to be on a team through this, we kind of wanted to get back to normal and be able to, or at least semi-normal, and play. I can't tell you the loss that I felt when we had to stop practicing, because I mean, a part of that is that we lost that in-person connection. Well, we still do, video calls to do workout sessions and things like that. It's not the same. just the same as Zoom classes are not the same as in-person classes. And yeah, so here's to hoping that this turns around relatively quickly, and hopefully we can get some sports in the gym come January. But we'll see. Anyways, I think that might be a good place to wrap it up. So thank you guys for coming in. This is a great discussion.
Yeah, thank you so much. You're both so wonderful, so talented. I envy all the multi-sport athletes because I can only do one thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You can do more than one thing.
You
You
definitely
host
do.
a mean podcast.
Oh,
You're a great student. And I mean, #1 geese journalist in the world.
Oh my,
Hands
in the
down.
world.
Great pumpkins.
I did give Carley that pumpkin.
All right, this has turned into a let's just gas up Chloe.
Let's
Great,
boost
I like
Chloe's
it.
ego. Oh, well, thank you guys. Thank you for
Love that.
coming. And yes, thank you for all your wisdom.
Yeah,
Thank you
This
guys.
was so fun. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
hope
Happy
to see you guys
holidays.
happy holidays to you guys too. Hope to see you guys on the live stream, Carley's live stream, and Mackenzie on some CMU Instagram accounts.
Follow admissions. The admissions Instagram account is it's thriving right now. I did a fun little survey this morning on their stories. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
CMU_admissions. It's going to pop off over the Christmas holidays. So we got some fun
Awesome.
things planned there. We got a few webinars coming up that are also lots of fun. So, if you have a younger sibling that is looking into school, or, tell them about it. Get them involved. We'd love to be in touch with them. So
Perfect.
Lovely.
All right. Well, thank you, Mackenzie. Thank you, Carley. Have a good one.
thank you. See you.
Bye.
And then there
That
were
was fun.
two.
And then there were two.
Sports, man. Sports.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, one of the things that we weren't really able to touch on there is I think there's a cool Christmas card project going through the Witness Through Carley's one of the Witness Through Service reps on Student Council, and there's a cool Christmas card project that's going around right now. I don't think that's necessarily related to athletics, but figured to give it a little shout out. Check that out. I think it's on some Instagram pages.
It's on Instagram pages. I think it's in the daily, and the concept is really cool. You can create a digital Christmas card with a sweet message and then send it to Witness in Service, and then they're going to print them out and they're going to bring them to a bunch of extended living care homes, I think, in Winnipeg.
Nice.
Yeah.
I guess it's a good enough segue to kind of hop into a recap of the daily, the weekly.
Let's do it.
Yeah, man. Chloe, you want to start it off? Because I know there's something that you have a direct connection to.
Yes, I do. Okay, so scrolling through the daily, I was just keeping myself just in the loop with what's going on at CMU. Really encourage you to read that daily. It's a wonderful, wonderful publication.
Shout out Andrew Giesbrick.
Go Andrew. And I was scrolling through, I was looking at those common word deals because you got to check those out. And they currently, let me see what it is, the exact deal. They currently have a deal on ready-made noodles. And let me tell you about ready-made noodles. Okay, they are made in Winkler, Manitoba, within like 10 minutes of my hometown of Morden. I kind of grew up in both of those towns, and those noodles are actually delivered to CMU and around Manitoba by my stepfather. So the man has personally delivered these noodles to Common Word to be sold to you.
It's incredible.
I
Did he
know.
come and say hi?
He used to when we could when we were on campus. He would stop by and he would say hello, but then we'd have to hurry off because the world needs their noodles.
True. True.
And so yeah, we got a 700 grams for $6 and 300 grams for $3.19. Some sick deals on noodles.
Sick deals on nudes. So good. Yeah. I mean, we've touched on this. I think it was with Charlie before, but when I was looking through the daily, and this is something that's been on my mind for the past week or so, bedtime stories.
Bedtime stories.
Weekly bedtime stories, Tuesdays, Thursdays, 10 p.m. over Zoom. CMU is getting profs and faculty members to read some bedtime stories to students, and I think that is such a unique idea and such a cute idea. It's such a CMU idea. It really builds community, doesn't it?
It's so wholesome.
Yeah.
That's the word that comes to mind, is wholesome. I attended my first bedtime story. I think it was either last week or 2 weeks ago. And it was Craig Turleson, head of graphic design here at CMU, also teaches the graphic design course. And he was reading a children's picture book that he had illustrated.
Incredible.
It was amazing. It was about 3 very silly men from Iceland who were very confused about how light worked, and they were trying to scoop sunlight into their house because they built it without any windows. It was just, it was a whole experience.
Sounds like a really, really good time.
Yeah.
I couldn't find a list of who's going when, but if we find that out, we'll get it to you.
Yeah, and I believe that all of the readings have been recorded.
Yeah,
and
all the past ones are available.
Yeah. So they're available to watch if you've missed one with your favorite prof. So yeah, check out the daily. Go look at that link and enjoy some bedtime stories.
Yeah. And now for Quick Wit.
Quick Wit.
Yeah, everybody's favorite. Everybody's favorite.
Everybody has been calling us up. Leaving 5-star reviews on Quick Wit. What a great segment it is. They've been.
Oh yeah.
They've been saying, do it more.
I have so many ideas for this week's Quick Wit, but I've gone with one that's relevant to our discussion today. Shall I go first now that I've teased it?
Yeah,
all
go
right.
for it.
So I think I mentioned last week that that soccer in Europe is getting spectators back in the stadiums, and I think that it's doable at CMU. And this is not something that I'm necessarily championing, because I think there's a lot of question marks, and I don't think this is necessarily a good idea. But I think it's the process that they've done in Europe, I think is doable at CMU, where they've spaced out all of the seating arrangements, and screen everybody through at different at staggered times, and make everything safe. And they're not allowed, nobody's allowed to, hug or they've limited the amount of chants and singing, which people have gotten mad about, but that's how it works. And everybody's wearing masks and things. So I think it's doable at CMU. I don't think we should necessarily do it, but I think it's doable.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how next semester goes, with COVID numbers, obviously, but also with planning, because I know, all of the staff and profs have been in constant conversation about all of these things. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what comes next.
Yeah.
I would go to a soccer game. I don't know much about soccer. I know the basic rules, but I would go to a soccer game. Futsal's terrifying.
Yeah, it's fun to watch though.
It's so fun to watch, but it's terrifying. The ball comes flying at you and you're a spectator. You're not even on the pitch. Well,
imagine being a goalkeeper like Mackenzie was.
That man has just so much bravery.
Yeah, as the old saying goes, you have to be crazy to be a goalkeeper.
That makes sense. Okay, my Quick Wit. An interesting one. Okay, it is this. The CMU cafeteria muffins are a culinary work of art.
I know where you're going with this, but continue.
Okay, so I spent my first year here at CMU in the dorms, so I was at the caf for all of the meals, and I would often have a muffin for breakfast, and I would also go get them for snacks when I lived in apartments. And I don't remember seeing a muffin flavor twice in a year. Once, I think, what was the ingredient? I think they were Fruit Loop muffins. The creativity that is harnessed in the CMU cafeteria just within muffins is amazing. And then I discovered, and this brought me so much joy, I discovered that there is an Instagram account. I don't know who made it, but shout out to them. It's called CMU Muffins, but CMC Muffins. So it still says CMU, but it spells CMU Muffins. Genius. And
that's pretty good.
It is the bio is your daily rating of CMU cafeteria muffins. And they go through and they have quality photographs of these muffins, just beautiful, beautiful pictures and like lengthy descriptions. Like you would find these like on a food critic page or in a cookbook, like, and people are interacting. Like CMU Muffins is taking off, and I've followed. I'm interacting. I love it, and I think it's probably one of the best social media accounts I've seen in a long while.
Nice. I'm very glad for that. Listen, if you're the owner of the CMU Muffins account, C Muffins account, let us know if you're watching this, and we'll get you a free pen from Charlie Pronto.
We're just gonna keep getting pens from Charlie.
I mean, I was gonna give mine, but
yeah, it's a good idea. But yeah, thanks for the little spot of joy in my life, CMU Muffins. It's been wonderful, and also thank you to the CMU CAF workers for making the muffins and making such wonderful food. Great people. So yeah, that's my take. CMU Muffins.
Nice. Well, on that note, thank you for watching. Not only the CMU staff people and CMU Muffins, but thank you, the listeners, for watching. Like I said at the start of the show, I believe that we're going to be trying to do at least one more program. Maybe we'll do a little Christmas special, just Chloe and I. But yeah, I guess this concludes it.
I guess this is it.
This is it.
This is it. Bye, Dan.
Take care, everybody. I'll miss you too, Chloe.